Welcome back to a new video. Today we're looking at one of the most powerful books ever written, Animal Farm by George Orwell. It might seem like a simple story, but it carries deep lessons about power, betrayal, and human nature. Let's not waste your time and break it down together. 1. The rebellion starts. One night, an old and wise pig named Old Major gathers all the animals. He tells them, "Humans are the enemy. If we work together, we can be free." Old Major passes away a few days later, but his speech stays alive in their minds. The animals keep remembering his words. They whisper about them during work, during rest, even in the dark of night. And little by little, something inside them changes. Hope grows. Courage grows. Until one day, Mr. Jones pushes them too far, and they finally rise up. They chase him off the farm and proudly rename the place Animal Farm. 2. The rules of freedom. The pigs, being the smartest, take the lead. They create 7 rules for all animals, and the most important one says, all animals are equal. For a while, life truly feels different. Everyone works together, everyone shares food equally, and the animals believe they're building a future that Old Major dreamed of. It feels like the beginning of real freedom. And before we continue, if you're enjoying this breakdown, hit the like button, and feel free to check the full version of the book linked below. 3. The Rise of Napoleon. As time passes on Animal Farm, the animals work hard and try to follow the rules they created. But slowly, small cracks begin to appear. The pigs start taking small privileges. Nothing big at first, a little extra food here, a decision made without voting there. And although the animals feel something is changing, they don't know how to question it. This is when 2 pigs step forward as leaders. Snowball, creative, energetic, always thinking about how to improve the farm. And Napoleon, quiet, watchful, and hungry for power. Snowball introduces big ideas, especially the windmill, a project that could give the animals electricity, warm stalls, and a better life. Most animals love the idea. They dream again. They believe things can get easier. But Napoleon doesn't like Snowball's influence. He feels threatened. He doesn't argue, he doesn't debate, he waits. And one day during a heated meeting, something shocking happens. Napoleon gives a signal. From nowhere, 9 huge dogs, trained in secret, rush forward. They chase Snowball across the yard, nipping at his heels, forcing him to flee the farm forever. With Snowball gone, Napoleon stands before the animals and declares himself the absolute leader of Animal Farm. 4. Corruption begins. At first, the changes are small, almost invisible. A whispered excuse here, a quiet adjustment there. Nothing big enough for the animals to protest. But slowly, the rules begin to twist. The pigs start sleeping in beds, even though the rules forbid it. They take extra food, telling the others it's for their brain power. They drink alcohol, something they once called a human sin. Each time the animals worry, they look at the barn wall, and somehow the rules have changed. The words they remember aren't the ones written anymore. Doubt spreads through the farm, but fear spreads faster. No one wants to question Napoleon, not after what happened to Snowball. Meanwhile, the windmill, Snowball's great idea, is rebuilt. The animals work day and night. They push stones up hills, break boulders with their hooves, and suffer through cold winds and hunger. But when it finally stands tall, they discover it isn't for them. It isn't for electricity. It isn't for comfort or warmth. It becomes a monument to Napoleon's power, a reminder that the farm no longer belongs to the animals, but to the pigs who rule them. 5. The final transformation. Years go by on Animal Farm, and slowly, the pigs stop pretending. The changes that once happened in secret now happen in the open. They start trading with humans, the very beings Old Major warned them about. They drink more and more, celebrating their power. They begin to carry whips, and eventually, they rise onto 2 legs. The animals watch all this with heavy hearts. They remember the early days, the promises, the hope, the dream of equality. But now, those memories feel distant, almost like a story they once heard but never lived. One evening, drawn by curiosity and fear, The animals gather outside the farmhouse window. Inside, the pigs and humans sit around a table, laughing, drinking, bargaining, toasting to their success. As the animals look from face to face, from pig to man, and from man to pig, they can no longer tell the difference. In that moment, the truth finally hits them. Their leaders have become exactly what they once fought against. In conclusion, Animal Farm is more than a story about animals. It's a mirror, reflecting what happens when power grows without limits. We've seen this pattern repeat in real life, not just in politics, but even in everyday situations. Think about companies that start small, full of passion and big dreams. They promise fairness, teamwork, and a better future. But as the company grows, a few people rise to the top. Rules change, transparency fades. The ones who do the real work feel less and less heard. And slowly, the spirit that built the company disappears. It's the same message Orwell gave us. When leaders stop being accountable, the system stops serving the people and starts serving itself. But remembering stories like Animal Farm helps us notice the early signs, so history doesn't repeat in our own lives, workplaces, and communities. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to check the full version of the book in the description, and see you in the next summary. Subscribe for more.